I'm ranking the best 14 rookie wide receivers from 2022 and telling you which ones have the best chance of breaking out and which ones do not. All right, coming in at number 14 is Wan'Dale Robinson of the Giants. Really only flashed when they had no other healthy receivers on the field. Only averaged 9.9 yards per reception. But the real reason he is this low is because he's coming off a torn ACL. Who knows when we're going to see him? And when we do see him, he's probably going to be far from 100%. So it's hard to see a path to him breaking out in year 2 coming off a significant knee injury like an ACL. All right, coming in at number 13 is a guy I liked going into the draft last year. Wasn't one of my favorite prospects, but I thought he was good enough. I liked where he landed there in Cleveland. I'm talking about David Bell. Figured once Deshaun Watson got there and the offense got rolling, things would be great for David Bell. They weren't great. Only 24 catches and 215 yards. Averaged only 8.9 yards per reception. The only reason he's not dead last on this list is because Wan'Dale Robinson tore his ACL and probably won't play a full season next year or be 100%. If that had not happened, David Bell would be last on this list. Hard to see a path for him breaking out. At number 12, we got Tyquan Thornton of the Patriots. He did show some flashes, like maybe 3 or 4 flashes. I don't know, but only 22 receptions in 13 games. He's stuck in a low volume offense. He's stuck with Mac Jones. At least Matt Patricia is gone, but still, do we expect Bill O'Brien to come in and all of a sudden make this offense some elite passing offense? I don't. I just think the problem for Tyquan Thornton is the situation here and the quarterback. Don't see a path to a breakout. Can't put him higher than this. At number 11, a guy I had really high hopes for, that is Sky Moore, landed in easily the best situation of any of these wide receivers attached to Patrick Mahomes. All he had to do was beat out Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the number 2 role, and he would have had a great rookie season, but he couldn't do it. So expectations have to be very low at this point, but unlike the other 3 guys I just talked about, if he can somehow make a leap in year 2, he's in the by far the best situation. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He'll have a great year. So while I don't expect it to happen, if it does, he's got the most upside of the guys I've talked about so far. Coming in at number 10 is preseason MVP Romeo Doubs of the Packers. Was not the regular season MVP by any stretch. Really did not live up to that preseason hype. Just 42 catches for 425 yards, and now he's going from Aaron Rodgers to probably Jordan Love. And his role in this offense just doesn't give him a lot of opportunity to have big fantasy production. He runs the slot, he runs the short routes. Not a lot of chances to score touchdowns. Not loving him in this offense, especially without Aaron Rodgers. Got him at 10. Coming in at number 9 is a name I didn't expect to be talking about, but Rashid Shaheed had a nice late season breakout for the Saints. Finished with 28 catches for 488 yards and a massive 17.4 yards per reception. There's 2 ways this could go for Shaheed. Number 1, he could remain the team's number 2 wide receiver, and we could be looking at a true possible breakout in year 2. Or number 2, they could go out and add a wide receiver either through free agency or in the draft, and he gets relegated to number 3 duties, and the breakout doesn't happen. But I think the potential is there. He showed enough. Got him inside the top 10 at number 9. At number 8, I got Colts rookie Alec Pierce, who actually finished 6th among all rookie wide receivers in receiving yards with 593. Averaged 14.5 yards per reception despite playing with Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger, and Nick Foles. Now he should be looking at a true quarterback upgrade. There's talks that they could move up from number 4 to number 1 to draft one of CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Either way, should be much better situation for Alec Pierce next year. He's a burner. He's a big play guy. He has massive weekly upside. Like him as a potential breakout next year. Got him at 8. At number 7, I have Treylon Burks of the Titans. Did show some flashes last year when he was actually healthy and on the field. 33 catches, 444 yards, 13.5 yards per reception in one of the league's run heaviest offenses. The issue is here, who will be the quarterback and what are the Titans doing? Are they going to go full rebuild, revamp the offense, bring in a different quarterback? Or are they just going to bring back Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and just try to run it back the same old way? But I think Treylon Burks has the ability, has the upside. This feels like a fair spot for him. At number 6, we have one of my favorite second-year breakout potentials, and that is Jahan Dotson of the Commanders. 35 catches and 523 yards despite only playing 12 games last year. Also stuck with bad quarterback play in Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke. That's also the question mark here. What is this offense going to look like next year? Is it really going to be Sam Howell? And maybe that's not a bad thing. With that uncertainty, I can't really put him inside the top 5, but I do think he has true breakout potential. Liked what I saw last year. I think we see him get even better in year 2. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's get into the top 5 now. And at number 5, we've got George Pickens of the Steelers. I know a lot of people love Pickens. People have Pickens higher than this, but I just can't do it because number 1, is Kenny Pickett going to make a big enough leap in year 2 to support a real breakout from George Pickens? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. But my other worry is, what did we see down the stretch when Najee Harris was healthy and TJ Watt was healthy? The Steelers just ran the ball, leaned on that defense, and basically asked Kenny Pickett not to lose the game. Why wouldn't they continue that next season? That's my fear here, is it's just going to be a very low volume passing attack, a run heavy offense, a boring, grinded out type of offense. Yes, Pickens has that big play ability, but you can't count on that week to week. So for me, love the player. He's a freak athlete, but I can't put him higher than the next 4 guys. Then at number 4, I have the wide receiver who was the first wide receiver off the board in the 2022 draft. That is Drake London of the Falcons. Despite being stuck with terrible quarterback play and an offense that just wanted to run the ball, he finished 3rd among all rookies in receptions and yards. And unlike Pickens, he doesn't have a guy like Deontay Johnson who had almost 150 targets last year to worry about. So he should get a massive target share for whatever that's worth in this offense, because we know the offense wants to run the ball as much as they can. Will it be Desmond Ridder? Will they go look for a quarterback of the future? Not sure, but I think the target share and the talent has him at number 4 for me. And then at number 3 is my guy, Christian Watson, who I really like as a big-time breakout potential going into next season. 41 catches, 611 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And most of that came over the second half, did very little in the first half of the season, which is what you like to see from rookie wide receivers who don't just come out and dominate right away. He's clearly the alpha wide receiver in this offense. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, because he's the type of guy that just get the ball in his hands, let him do his thing, can always take one to the house. And he was getting a very nice target share down the stretch in this offense. And he gets the high value targets, the end zone targets, the red zone targets, and the deep targets. So to me, Christian Watson, huge breakout potential next year. Got him at 3. Now, I'll be honest, these next 2 guys were difficult for me to rank. I know most people don't think it was that close, but it really was. Both these guys are absolute studs, but I had to put Chris Olave at number 2. But look, it's a lot closer than people think, because despite playing 2 less games than Garrett Wilson, he only had 60 less receiving yards and 11 less receptions, and he was stuck with terrible QB play with Andy Dalton, so it's not like he got the benefit of a great quarterback. Hopefully the Saints do something at quarterback, because Chris Olave is an absolute stud, an elite route runner, and he could be a true wide receiver 1 in fantasy if he gets the right quarterback. But I had to go with Garrett Wilson at number 1. Offensive Rookie of the Year, 1,100 yards despite playing with Joe Flacco, Mike White, Zach Wilson. It can't really get worse for him, I hope. And now there's talk, maybe it'll be Aaron Rodgers, maybe it'll be Derek Carr, maybe Jimmy G, whatever. It's going to be an improvement over what he had last year. He's a stud. He's an alpha. Got him at 1, but it's closer between him and Chris Olave than most people have it. Hey, if you enjoyed that content, we've got more great content for you. Check out our fantasy football playlist right here.